Hey kids, week 2, day 2. I'm starting to lose track of where I'm at. Alright, here's your vocabulary for today. Build up. The advanced definition is a noun. Definition number 1, the act, instance, or process of increasing in amount, number, or strength, accumulation, increase, growth. For example, a buildup of dust. The arms build up. Definition number 2, the act or process of promoting, as in advertising. Definition number 3, a period of preparatory activity. For example, the long build-up to his proposal of marriage. These are some other examples of how the word or form of the word are used. Number 1, IL-15 encourages muscle growth and helps prevent the buildup of abnormal fat in the belly. Number 2, experts thought an unknown infectious disease or perhaps a buildup of pesticides used to kill insects was causing the vultures to die. Number 3, well, in 1774, during the buildup to the American Revolution, the British government decided to pile on more straw. Number 4, radon can seep into basements and floors, and build-up of the gas inside a house can make people sick. Number 5, cavities or areas of tooth decay can cause plaque buildup. Release. Definition as a verb. Number 1, to let something go free, to stop holding something. For example, she released her father's hand. They released the prisoners at the end of the war. The advanced definition as a transitive verb. Definition number 1, to liberate from confinement or other form of constraint, such as obligation or pain. Example number 1, the landlord would not release him from his contract. Example number 2, re-release the small fish into the pond. Definition number 2, to unfasten or let go of. For example, he released the handle. Example number 2, the little girl was reluctant to release her father's hand. Definition number 3, to allow the publication, circulation, or sale of. For example, the police department released photos of the suspects. When was Elvis Presley's first record released? Definition number 4, the act or process of liberating from constraint. His family celebrated his release from prison. Definition number 2 is a noun, an authorization to publish or circulate information. Definition number 3, a news story or other piece prepared for publication in a newspaper or announcement on radio or television, a press release. Definition number 4, a device that allows a machine to start or stop. Definition number 5, a document that surrenders a right or a claim. Here are some examples of how the word or forms of the word can be used. Number 1, the plants release pollen, which is a common allergen. Number 2, an earthquake is the result of a sudden release of energy in the Earth's crust that creates something called seismic waves. Number 3, Alex explains the goal is to one day release the wolf packs back into the wild. Number 4, when the two plates finally get unstuck, they release energy. Number 5, when leaves and branches fall, they break down and release nutrients into the soil. Resistance. Your advanced definition as a noun. Definition number 1, the act or process of opposing or striving against. For example, the proposal to tear down the old library was met with resistance from the community. Definition number 2, the opposite posed by one force against another. For example, vitamins help your body build resistance to disease. Number 3, An underground organization, as in France during World War II, that struggles against an occupying military power by sabotage or guerrilla warfare. During World War II, the French resistance fought against the German army that was occupying France. 4. The characteristic of an electoral conductor that opposes the flow of current and transforms some of it into heat. The Spanish cognate resistencia. The Spanish word resistencia means resistance. I just noticed the other two didn't have a Spanish cognate. These are some examples of how the word or forms of the word can be used. When geologists study rocks, they often use the Mohs scale. I have already read that one, haven't I? Must be for this one too. When geologists study rocks, they often use the Mohs scale of mineral hardness. The scale allows us to characterize the scratch resistance of various minerals. Number 2, when we swim, you're working against the resistance of or pressure of the water. Number 3, you always have to exercise against resistance to get definition. And number 4, unfortunately, insecticides can harm other organisms, including beneficial insects, and mosquitoes can develop a resistance to them over time. All right, that's it for vocabulary. Up next, questions.